Oh, hello. Have you been looking for a book or resource where you only really know about the theme or topic and maybe where it might be on the shelf? It's almost like you're in a mystery trying to figure out how to track this book down. Sounds like a job for Browse. To the library and step on it.
Hello, and welcome to our video demonstrating some of the experiments and prototyping that we've been doing on the browse phase of the LD4P2 work here at Cornell. So in this phase, we are focusing on looking at how to experiment with new browsing and navigation work, so ways of being able to browse information in the catalog that uses linked data and external data sources, or that looks at different ways of showing the information that we have in the catalog. There are a couple of different areas that we're going to talk about: browsing subjects, authors, using a map, and also course subjects. So we're going to start off by looking at browse subjects. If I click on this, this allows me to see the top-level Library of Congress classifications. These are top-level topics and concepts. And if I click on one of these, let's say general work, it will open up some of the subheadings or subclassifications, as well as related Library of Congress subject headings. So we set up a separate index that includes all the Library of Congress subject headings that have any kind of LCCN or classification information. And if I click on one of these or any of these, it will show broader and narrower information coming from LCSH. So this is a real-time call being made to id.loc.gov to get the broader and narrower terms, as well as a call here that goes to the catalog to get results we have in the catalog for that subject heading. If I want to see another top-level category, I can go back here. And for instance, let's say I'm interested in philosophy, psychology, religion, and then scrolling through this, I can see that specifically logic is of interest to me, and I can begin to drill down a little bit further. Again, see search results. If I want to find out more about decision making, I click on that. That makes a call to id.loc.gov to get broader and narrower categories. And if I wanted to, I could continue with any of these to see more broader and narrower information for any of the categories. That shows you how to navigate the subject headings on this page. Clicking on dilemma or clicking on any of these will open up search results in the catalog itself. So I can go directly to the catalog and then see items that are of interest to me. Another area that we wanted to make sure to bring in was not just having browse be on a separate page or having it be independent of search, which is important, but also seeing if we could just search for something and then be able to switch to browse from it. So say I have searched for Federalist Papers as my keyword, and within the catalog, I can look at the search results, but I can also look at subject level classes. So I see that political science is a category that I'm generally interested in. If I click on political science, it will pick that facet, but it also shows me a browse button next to the subject heading. So if I click on browse here, it will drop me back into this browse page, but it will select which classification and which subject heading corresponds to that. And from there, I can continue to explore related concepts. So for instance, I may be interested specifically in liberty. If I click on liberty, it will again load subject results or search results for that subject. And since my German is non-existent, I will not try to read this, but let's say that I am interested in this particular item. If I click on this item, it will open up the item view. So far, we've talked about browsing experiences at the subject or classification level at a higher level. We're also looking at browsing experiences or relationships to browse from the item view level. And I'll turn it over to Tim to talk about this.
What we wanted to be able to do at the item view is expand the subjects that the user could explore. So what we've done is take the existing subjects and do a query to get additional LCSH broader and narrower terms, as well as relevant terms as well. And so these are pulled in Here, it begins with broader terms, and as you scroll down, it shows the relevant and then the narrower terms. In some cases, works have, or the item will have a OCLC work ID, and when that's the case, we use that work ID to pull in some additional subject terms as well. And since we're on the item view, another area we've explored with browsing is call number browse. This existed in the catalog, but we modified it. Instead of just getting a table listing of items sort of surrounding this one in the call number, we've done something that's similar to what other institutions have done. But what we decided to do a little bit differently here is that you'll notice at the top, besides just showing the call numbers for each, we've got the classification label for the call number classes. Philosophy here, philosophy general. Those are actually links, so you can click on those. You can also access the call number browse using the search field above. So we've got call number browse selected, and we'll put in PN 4400. That will at some point take us to that, and we can browse here as well. And one other thing we do with the classification labels in the top is if you scroll off of the current area that you're looking at, so we're in letters, but now we've moved into PN 390, which is diaries. And so now we're looking at those. So we've got it so that you can browse the works that are contiguous to the one you are looking at, and as the call number classification changes, it will indicate that at the top of the page. So if we click on PN 4390, it will take us to the beginning of the diaries. And there, yeah, so that's the very first one. And that's the call number browse.
So that is some of the subject and Library of Congress classification browsing work we've done and call number browsing work we've done. We've also experimented with looking at author timelines. This particular demonstration is also dependent on an external index we set up with author information from Wikidata and Library of Congress name authority files. We set it up using a query for any Library of Congress items that had, or names that had birth and death dates, and then Wikidata with matching Library of Congress URIs that had birth and death date or start and end activity. We have about 1.5 million items in this separate index we set up. And this demo uses Histopedia. So Histopedia is a JavaScript code you can use to show timelines. Images are all coming in from Wikidata. It doesn't load the entire index, but loads portions at a time. For instance, if I clicked on 700, it will load the information from the index between 7 and 1100 CE. If I were to click on any of these items, it further shows below on the left. You could consider this the beginning of a knowledge panel with a timeline view, where you have information from our index for birth and death. You can see that in this case, the information is coming from Wikidata, the description from Wikidata, which is happening when you click on the item, and occupation information. And in addition to showing and allowing a person to link to the Library of Congress or the Wikidata entities, it's also showing search results from our catalog. You can see that in this case, this person has 2 items. You can also scroll back and forth to get a more sense of other information and other people, and Histopedia will also allow you to kind of expand. Since there's a lot of information here, it doesn't necessarily show every single item up front, but you can now see, for instance, theophanies, and in this case, it has birth information from Wikidata, but death information coming in from the Library of Congress, and 6 results from our catalog. If you want to switch to our catalog view, you just click on the heading, and it will take you to our catalog showing the same 6 results we saw before, with information about the search results and item results information you need. So that's the author view, author timeline view. We also have experimented with seeing what we could extract from our region subject facet and see if we could put it on a map. So when we click on the browse map, this is going out, doing a live call against our production index, getting the top 500 geographical facet values we have, querying against facts to get facts URIs, which we can then use to query Wikidata to get coordinates. So a lot happening. Not all 500 items are showing up on the map because in some cases the staff queries are not returning a URI, and we can look further into that later, but there are quite a few that do. If you click on one of these points, you can see that Cameroon has 818 results in the catalog. Clicking on that will show you the results here on the left, and you could further go into the catalog for any of these items if you wished. So this is a very quick map experiment we did. There is, for instance, work that's already done with the GeoBlacklight application that does map-based browse. But this was to see if we could get a quick map view and to see if we could further work there. Those are some of the browsing categories we have. We also have experimented with bringing in open syllabus data for browsing my course subjects. We'll hand it off to John to talk more about that.
Hi, my name is John Skinner, and I'd like to show you some code that we're experimenting with in our catalog. This code makes use of data from the Open Syllabus project. Here I have the view of a particular work in our catalog. Below all the catalog information, you will see a list of other recommended works. This information comes from the Open Syllabus project. It collects millions of syllabuses and tracks which books are assigned along with which other books. So this list of works are things that are frequently co-assigned with the work that we're looking at now. Every one of them has been pre-screened to ensure that it is in fact present in our university library catalog. Clicking on one of those, I'm going to come to a view that allows me to visit that particular work, and I will also see a list of recommendations that are based on this work. Every one of these is clickable too, so the user can explore and browse a large fraction of our catalog based on this recommendation engine. Something else that I'd like to show you is this system of browsing by field of study into which the syllabus is classified. These SIP codes are codes used by the Department of Education to classify coursework. I will scroll down to English literature and have a look at all of the books in our catalog organized by the most frequently assigned that are on English literature syllabuses. They're appearing gradually because every one of them is being confirmed to make sure that it actually appears in our library catalog. And this more link gives us another slice of the books that are a little bit less frequently assigned than those that appear at the top of the list. Every one of these is, of course, clickable and can lead into the system of recommendations of co-assigned work that you have seen earlier.
Thank you, John and Tim, for your work on experimenting with browse. We're going to wrap up this video for now and look forward to our next phase for semantic search.
Social Sciences and Industries, Land Use and Labor section. That's where we are. Hey, The Great Grain Robbery. That looks like a great book, and I think that's the one I wanted. I hope you've enjoyed the episode so far, and you're enjoying our explorations into linked data and discovery. Our next episode is going to be looking at semantic search.
This is Command Central. Secure the package.
Huh. Wonder what this book is. When Wheat Was King. You know, they say this place has secret doors in it. I've never believed it, but I'm gonna keep this one. It's a real lifesaver.